welcome to the new edition of Maswamini Prerna. Today we have a very, very interesting subject. Is money a curse or a blessing? From a childhood, I've been witnessing this paradox of money. When I was a child, my own guru told me in Gujarati, "Paiso to hatno mel chhe." But as I started growing up, I realized that no, that's not true. Money has a lot of importance in our life. Without money, you can't do anything. You can't even grow. So we decided to take this subject, and then we were thinking about it. That as our class practice, with whom should we converse? Should we converse with a Dharma Guru? And then the thought occurred that no, let's converse with somebody, let's have a dialogue with somebody, who has seen all sides of money. And I'm really fortunate, I have today Rikaben and Manubhai Shah from Los Angeles, USA. And on my one small request, Manubhai was so kind enough that he said, "Okay, Ajaybhai, I'll be available to you." So thank you very much, Rikaben, thank you very much, Manubhai, for this grand opportunity. Obviously, the question will come that why have we selected Rikaben and Manubhai for this purpose? And let me tell you, whatever little information I have about them, that some 57, 58 years back, this young budding couple decided to migrate from Mumbai, India to USA. Obviously, they had a lot of dreams, lot of hopes, lot of ambitions, everything. They came over here. Manubhai is a highly educated person, mechanical engineer from a prestigious VJTI in Mumbai. And they started working together. I'm sure that they would have seen the struggle also in their life. And then, in order to supplement the family income, and obviously, I'm going to ask this kind of questions more to Manubhai, and they are like very, very interesting questions. But what I understand is that, from the basement of their house, Rikaben started this business of MS International. And that's where, in some of the studies which I was looking at it, they call them a basement to billionaire. And I know that, Manubhai does not like this billionaire tag, that please don't put it up. So from an ordinary, loving, caring couple, this couple, in my humble view, became a power couple. But honestly, I don't respect a power couple, But then the journey actually started, and I could realize that this power couple has become a philanthropic power couple. And that's the most beautiful thing to happen to any couple. Today, as I know, they've been associated with more than 200 trusts all over the world, mainly into the America and Mumbai. And this is the beauty of a life, that they have seen struggle probably in their early life. They have seen the success, and they also have a gratitude that we would like to give back our dues, maybe our own ઋણ, આપણે જે ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ કે we would like to give our ઋણ back to the society. So here is, I have seen, in fact, I have seen a lot of couples like that. If you look at it, the names of something like Bill and Melinda Gates, you also can talk about Warren Buffett and Estate Bank. In fact, in India, we talk about it. We can always talk about Nandan and Rosni Nilekani. You can talk about Aziz and Yasmin Premji. And this is where I feel that, Rikaben and Manubhai. So thank you very much once again for joining us today in Maswamini Prerna. Manubhai, first question, which is a very, very primitive question, how did you started your journey from the source of Mumbai coming down over here, started MSI. If you can just briefly tell us a little bit about it.
The situation in 1967 in India was terrible. 62, war with China, India lost. 65, war with Pakistan, India did not win. By 67, all the initiative done by Jawaharlal Nehru were failing. Okay? And there were no jobs. Even though I was a first-class engineer from top engineering school, the best job I could go in 1967 was a mechanic in a cloth mill. It's that bad shape India was. My brother was electrical engineer from Ahmedabad. He was working and he was struggling, but he was doing. He told me, get out of here. Yeah, how to go to America, which was totally other way. At that time, America, I came, we were welcome. All the colleges were looking for it. I graduated my master's in 11 months. I lost 9 pound weight. I became 106 to 95, 105 to 96 pound. But I had 3 job offers waiting. And there were prestigious companies like IBM, FMC Corporation, and one small company from Ohio. And I went to IBM in Poughkeepsie, New York. There were 2,000 engineers. And I kept saying, should I be one of 2,000? Or I go to this small company where there was a department of 5 but only 1 engineer. I'll be 1 out of 2 out of 5. I joined a small company. At that time, all 3 companies which gave me job offered me green card. We'll work, how to stay here, and we will work. We'll get you the green card. The reason was all US citizens were taken by America, was at war with Vietnam. So all defense contractors were picking up American engineers, American citizen engineers. That was not all. There was something even bigger than that. And that was America wanted to put the man on the moon. And Purdue University, where I graduated, had bigger, more presence of astronaut engineering and aeronautical engineering than anybody else. In fact, Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon in '69, was from Purdue. And there were several more. So with all that, it was easy, we were welcome. They were love to us to work in America. So that situation was no-brainer. How to do that. Because India had no jobs. And so that's why I came to America, and all I wanted, I come from relatively lower end of the middle class. My first 5 years, even though my family was decent, my grandfather died when my father was 14 years old, and he was oldest of 3 brothers. So he had no choice but leave Manubhai Kutch to go to Mombasa. Alright, and then he got married 4 years later. He had children and 8 children by he was 38 in 1942. World War II was very strongly going, and Germany had already occupied South Africa. They were about to go over Kenya. So the government of Kenya said that all the people who are under 40 must join the army. My father was under 40, so he decided there's no way with 8 children he will go to join the army. So we decided to pack up everything and left for Manubhai. So that was the lowest
Point of your life.
for my father.
Okay.
And in 45 I was born. To me, since then, my family started getting better. So I've never seen worst. When I was born was worst and kept improving. But my first 5 years of life, 6 years of life, basically no running water, no electricity, and I had no shoes. In that condition, but it kept improving. Eventually I got shoes. Eventually we moved to Kutch, to Ghatkopar in Mumbai. And things started. So to me, every day was better than previous day. Okay? And that's what I enjoyed. And that's what continued our journey.
Rikaben, just એક નાનકડો પ્રશ્ન પૂછું છું, પર્સનલ છે. તમે ને મનુભાઈ કેવી રીતે મળ્યા?
Manu came to India in 1970.
Okay.
અને એનું નક્કી નહોતું કે ઇન્ડિયા રહેવું છે કે પાછા અમેરિકા આવવું છે. પણ એના ફેમિલીએ કીધું કે ઇટ ઇઝ બેટર કે તું હજી થોડા વરસ અમેરિકામાં રહી આવ ને પછી અહીંયા આગળ આવ. તો કે પણ જો હું પાછો જાઉં તો પછી મેરેજ કરીને જાઉં. તો એના ફેમિલી એગ્રી થયા ને મારા મોટી બેન અને એનું મનુનું ફેમિલી એક જ ટાઉનમાં રહેતા હતા અને સંબંધ બી એ લોકોના હતા. તો એને ખબર પડી કે રવિલાલભાઈનો દીકરો અમેરિકાથી આવ્યો છે અહીંયા અને મેરેજ કરવાનો છે. તો સી સજેસ્ટેડ માય ફાધર કે આ છોકરો ફેમિલીને તો અમે જાણતા હતા જે લોકોના ફેમિલીને અમે વર્ષોથી મારા મધર એમને ભાઈ જ કહેતા હતા. Family as a family, India it's common કે તમારું good relation, you always keep it as a brother and sister. So એમ નક્કી કર્યું કે બે મળ્યા અમે લોકો. છેલ્લી મિનિટે બી એણે તો બીજી છોકરીઓ જોઈ લીધી હતી. કેટલી જોઈ હતી મને નથી ખબર. પણ
તમને લાગે છે કે તમે ફસાઈ ગયા?
એવું તો ન કહી શકાય એની સામે.
એની સામે. Very good.
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm also kidding.
No, ખબર હતી ફેમિલી ખૂબ જ સારું છે. મનુ વિશે કાંઈ જ ખબર નહોતી કારણ કે he was in USA અને અમને ખબર બી નહોતી કે અહીંયા છે કે. પણ જનરલી એ ટાઈમે બધા પેરેન્ટ્સ ઓલવેઝ બિલીવ્સ ઇચ અધર કે સારું ફેમિલી છે એટલે છોકરો પણ સારો હશે. તો એકવાર એ લોકો ઘરે આવ્યા, બીજે દિવસે અમે મળ્યા અને within 3 more days we decided to get married. ત્યારે બધું બીજું તો કાંઈ બહુ હતું નહીં ચેક કરવાનું કે.
It was, let me add a couple of things. It was a war time with Bangladesh. We met 2 days. My condition with my family was, I thought this will never happen. I said, if 6 of you agree with one girl, I'll marry that girl. And surprisingly, 6 person in my family, my 2 brothers, 1 bhabhi, 2 sisters, everybody agreed on her, my mother. So I had no choice because I gave them word, I'll marry if 6 of, I never thought 6 people in one family will agree about one girl.
But you are not a loser, Manubhai. I can tell you are not a loser. You are not a loser, okay. So let's anyway, Manubhai, I'm going to be on Rikaben's side, all throughout.
It's nothing new, all life I'm facing
So,
that. Everybody is on her side.
let's just move on to this. Okay. Manubhai, how did this idea occur to start MS International?
Okay, 2 things. Part is Rika was teacher in India. She came to America. She did 3-4 times substitute teacher. She was a 9th and 10th grade teaching science in India. When she saw the kids of 9th and 10th grade in America, she says, I can't handle them. I don't want to be teacher. So she did some odd jobs for our family income. And then she was pregnant with our older son. He was born, and that's where it occurred to her that, hey, let's do something. She kept me almost bugging that some business we should do where I can put some quality time when I'm not busy with my first son. Okay, so that's where we started MSI. And at that time, electronics export from America was booming. Okay, from Intel, Texas Instrument, Fairchild Semiconductor, National Semiconductor, all had production in America. But it changed very quickly from 75. By 80% of the production was in Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, and Hong Kong. So we started our first as an export business of electronic memory chips and microprocessor integrated circuits.
So I understand that it was like Rikaben wanted to, keep ourselves occupied, okay, add little bit to the family income. And so she started from the basement of your home. Okay. So truly, when you went into this so-called, I call it a stones business. Okay, and stone is man's first friend, as we all
Yes.
know. As we all know. Okay. So was it her initiative or your initiative?
It wasn't our initiative. My brother, who was in Calcutta, he resettled in Bangalore and acquired a quarry. And he sent me, Manu, I think this black granite would work very good in America. And I forgot what granite was. I had to go to, those days you had to go to library to figure out graphite and granite, what's the difference. Once I understood, I agreed with my brother and we started importing. Black granite was only available at that time from India, South Africa and Sweden. South Africa cannot come to America because of apartheid at that time, so it was just a question of it was at the high end of any granite product in America. It's one of the best thing is the black granite among all the granite. So that's how we started. Funny thing is, at the end of first year working part-time, our total sales was $4,500. Okay. And we earned, not counting our labor, we earned $1,100. That, as an engineer says, what happens if I had $45,000 sales to instead of 4,500? And that's where my power of thinking, scalability, helped me to think. If you can scale it, you can go where. And that engineering knowledge helped me to think big, but start small.
Excellent, excellent. Rikaben, normally એમ કહેવાય છે કે લાઈફની અંદર પૈસો જ બહુ મહત્વની વસ્તુ નથી. ઓકે, લાઈફની અંદર આપણે કહીએ કે રિલેશનશિપ કે સંબંધોનું ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ છે, લાઈફની અંદર હેલ્થ તબિયતનું ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ છે, પર્સનલ ગ્રોથનું ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ છે અને વી સે દેટ હેપીનેસનું ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ છે. બટ એટ ધ સેમ ટાઈમ મની મેટર્સ.
રાઈટ.
મની વગર આ કાંઈ સચવાતું નથી. તો જે અનુભવમાંથી તમે પાસ થયા, ઓકે, સો એમાં ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ તમે શેને આપશો? genuinely you believe that money matters or all other things also matters equally?
I think તમે જે બીજા બધા કીધા એ બધા એવરીથિંગ મેટર્સ,
Yeah.
બટ મની વગર નથિંગ યુ કેન ડુ.
Yeah.
એટલે સૌથી પહેલા તમારી પાસે સર્વાઈવ થવાના તો પૈસા હોવા જ જોઈએ. તો એ સર્વાઈવ થવા માટે યુ હેવ ટુ ફાઇન્ડ સમથિંગ વિચ કેન ટેક યુ લોંગ વે. જસ્ટ યુ કેન નોટ થિંક ફોર ધ 1 year or 2 year.
But I agree with you. પણ છતાં પણ તમે જોશો તો મોટા ભાગના ધર્મો somehow પૈસાને એમ કહે છે કે ભાઈ પૈસાને ઇગ્નોર કરો, પૈસાને ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ નહીં આપો, કારણ કે પૈસાને કારણે જ બધા લાઈફના પ્રોબ્લેમ થાય છે, So how do you we are living now in a different time where we are going to the other extreme now. The people say that I want only money and nothing else. Other things will follow. So that's a different thing. But how do you reconcile these two things?
Well, money is definitely important. The question is how you use that power of money. Right? If you use or misuse it, that's your problem. But if you can think about that, hey, this money will allow me to grow. The purpose of growth was not I have more money. Purpose of growth, I can provide more jobs. Just like me, I was struggling as an engineer job. What if I can make it easier for other people to have a job? And that's why we decided that let's keep growing. Money will come, keep investing all of it. And wherever we can help, whoever we can. Think of everybody as an extended family or family member and keep them helping to grow themselves too, in not just money, but to the type of thing they can do. And we keep expanding. And we call it all this 1 employee to 10 employees to 100 employees to 1,000 employees to 3,000. Now we have 3,800 employees nationwide and worldwide. So that is what we needed, that medium of money to keep doing what our ambitions were. Without that, will not, but our ambitions were very clear. Create jobs.
Let me just briefly for our readers or our viewers, let me just put it up in a right perspective. That MS International's current turnover is 2.8 billion US dollar, so roughly around 25,000 crores with high profitability and high cash flows. Manubhai, when was that? Which was the year when you felt, that yes, MSI is really taking off, and now there is no looking back?
I can say that day one, because when we decided that we'll go in granite, so I said, okay, first order we get $100, $200, it's fine. So first order came $1,000, then $5,000. So it was always like we never thought how we will get the sales. Maybe our hard work or maybe the situation helped. So order was keep on coming. We had to work for it, but it was coming.
But when did you feel that, okay, let me put it up this question a little differently. When did you felt, I'm sorry to ask this question, this is a very awkward question for me to ask. But when did you feel that, okay, financially we are a little well off?
Okay. The answer is we were looking at just like anything else. Is our next month, next year is better than previous year. And we kept growing. Internally, we both knew we are doing the right. Externally, when we crossed first million of sales in 1984, everybody said you are safe now, you will grow forever.
1984?
84.
Okay.
It was a first within 1 year $1 million. Okay, so that one is like in America, say $1 million is a mark from which you can grow. And that's what happened to us in 84.
And we are talking about $1 million in 84.
1984.
Not 24. So that's like a big difference of $1 million value.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is the part where we felt we got to do more.
So exactly I want to catch you over there. That's what this question was. Okay. And I want really for our viewers and readers a very, very honest answer, because this is a learning exercise for all of us. Somewhere around 84 to 90, let's say that you are growing over that next 5-6 years. Was there a change in internal feelings for you or both of you, like, sometimes it happens that, all of a sudden when we feel that we are more secure, we have a good amount of money. Was that kind of a feelings came where, sitting today, you can say that yes, it was a mistake, we became little, egoistic, arrogant. Did you ever had that kind of feeling, either
No.
you or both of you?
Never.
What about
Never.
you, Rikaben?
I think we never had that.
Okay.
But when we moved in 1984 from Fort Wayne, Indiana to Los Angeles, and Manu being a tech lover person, he wanted to do something in the electronics.
Okay.
So he was saying that, Rika, now looks like everything is going good. Why can't we go on this one? And at that time, the Apple started the franchise. So he said, why don't we take the Apple franchise? We went to 3 places to see. It was, for him it was very interesting. For me it was different. So I
It was a
didn't know
computer
how
land.
computer land thing. પછી મેને કીધું કે માનો this doesn't seem right to me. કે ટેકમાં જાય, tech is moving so fast. I'm not sure we can do it that fast. And if we are little bit, he always has a habit to think twice, make us some changes or do whatever needs to be done, then expand. For that it is hard. You go right or you go wrong. And he himself agreed, and we said, okay, no, we will stick to the granite.
When did you cross let me rephrase this statement. I'm not going to leave you on this question because it's a very, very important question for me to take the further questions. When did you hit your 100 million US turnover? Roughly around which year? From 84?
We reached 10 million in 95
Okay.
and 100 million in 2004.
2004. Okay. Until that time, children were not involved in the business.
No, they were students.
So, okay. Did you get
2003, January.
2003-4? So, did you get some kind of, again, just the same question, ego or arrogance kind of a feeling that, okay, now we have a good amount of money, we are doing well, something like that? Because normally, and I come from the same background like yours, and I had a feeling, when I earned my first good amount of money, okay, sitting back now in the history, I think, and I believe money corrupts.
Right.
So, did you have any kind of that kind of experience, either of you or both of you?
No,
No.
never.
Actually, I never even thought about it, because whatever money we were making, whatever we need for ourselves, we were spending, but rest of them we investing in the company. So we never saw so much money.
Okay.
We have so many. We always have necessity, and we
So,
used it.
so that investment and growth phase saved you from that
Yes.
problem.
Yes.
Okay. તમારાથી શરૂ કરશું આપણે. Okay. When enough is truly enough. આપણે કહીએ ને કે બસ ઘણું થઈ ગયું હવે. When enough is truly enough in terms of the money.
Actually, હજી બી એવું નથી લાગતું કે it is enough.
Because
We think કે જેટલું વધારે કરશું, we both are workaholic. એટલે work doesn't bother us. We don't have any expensive wishes કે we have to have this, we have to this. We more in how we can help others. And even અમારે અત્યારે 3,500 plus employees છે, but we call extended family. And we behave with that, and that is the way our relationship. So we never did. First thing, in 1999, Manu got a heart attack. He was not worried about 1999. He was, at that time, he was not worried about myself, because I'm safe. He was not worried about the kids, that okay, they will educate, but he was worried about the employee. કે જો મને કંઈ થશે તો મારા આટલા એમ્પ્લોયીનું શું થશે? Even when he was in ambulance.
I must stop her and commend you. That's a commendable thing, Manubhai. I must commend. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
It's a commendable
So
thing.
I
No, you can go.
summarize. I was taken in ambulance to go to my heart attack to the hospital. It's about 20 minutes ride. And I kept saying, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. What will happen to those 3,000 worldwide jobs we have created? What will happen? What did they do wrong that I was not exercising, that I was eating wrong food? They did nothing wrong. I still want to die. I want to help them. And that's exactly happened. On the simple side, on the funny side is, I was talking to God, and God looks at me, son, I have a problem with you. And I says, God, how can you have a problem with me? You're God. He says, no. You have not done enough good or enough bad. I'm sending you back. Go back and do something good or something bad. Then my job becomes easier.
In fact, you won't believe it, but today morning, I and Ajaybhai were discussing the same thing in a different perspective. And I said કે આપણે બધા બ્રહ્માંડના અંશ છીએ. Okay. And exactly you are reflecting what I was talking to him, that when you think about 3,000 employees of yours, okay, their aura and their blessings will come in between your sickness and you, and tell God that sorry, you can't do this. Exactly we were talking today morning, we were discussing it. I think that let's move to the beautiful journey of your side, which is what I call it philanthropic power couple. What prompted you to start MSI Charitable Trust or Sarva Mangal Family Trust? In fact, Sarva Mangal, આપણામાં બોલાય છે, સર્વેનું મંગલ થાજો, સર્વેનું કલ્યાણ થાજો. It's a beautiful word.
Let all be happy.
Let all be happy, But what prompted you, Manubhai?
Before that, I must say something else.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is in 1975, just before we started the business, auto industry had a layoff, big, massive amount. Okay, in America, I was in auto industry, and my boss, when I was working for him, he said, on September 1974, Raj was 3 months old. He said, we are going to lay off 200 people in the engineering department of 600. And it's by seniority because it's auto industry. And he gave me a pink card, pink slip. That was Friday morning. So I wasn't too much worried by then. I was thinking about business anyway, and we had enough savings to survive. By 3 o'clock, he calls me back, my boss, Manu, your pink slip is withdrawn. I said, what happened? He said, out of 200 people, there is a rule, 4 people we can keep outside seniority because they are badly needed for the company. You are one of them. So I never got laid off. I come home and I was so happy to tell Rika, but Rika and me, that day in a dinner we decided if we have our company, we are never going to lay off anybody. 50 years gone by, 6 recession, we have never laid off anybody for lack of work. And that is our most achievement, not how much money we have or how big job we are creating. Not laying off in America for 50 years, including 2007, 2008. That is where some of the philanthropic thought started coming, that look, again, that's engineering knowledge, you should be scaled. The more I have, the more impact I will able to make in philanthropy. So while we started our philanthropy in 95, Okay, 94 December, $300,000 first we put it. At that time I was 50 years old, a long way to go. So we said, okay, whatever happens, we keep money aside and we'll invest that money in philanthropy when and right time comes or when right cause comes. So we kept doing it, but slowly and slowly. Okay. After my heart attack and after my recovery, by 2004, 2005, after our two sons joined us, we started doing bigger scale. Not compared to what is now, but compared to that. The good thing was we also internally made thought that comes from our Indian philosophy, 10% of the whatever way you calculate, find a way. Now we did put in what in America is DAF, donor advice fund. So you put it there, it earns, and from there it goes. Or if you are a public private foundation, you can put in it. We just use the easy route. So we kept donating out of it, granting money out of it, but we were collecting more and more in it. So, and right cause comes, we started doing it. Each time, the cause may be right almost everywhere. The question is, does it appeal to us? Our appeal was related to job creation, education, and health. Okay, those three areas we kept looking, and job creation had two parts in it. The part one is education should be there, so that whoever is employable. All right, that's one part. And the second is, I was very keen of not high education as much as skill development and vocational training and creating people who in high school, in town, in rural area, they don't go to college. Now what they do, they're 8th grader, now what they're supposed to do? They drop out. Okay, that's where the skill development becomes a very important part of it. That's what still one of the major effort we have is in skill development. There are many other areas I'll talk as time comes by.
No, I've been reading for last few days, in a flight also, all about you people, and I have a list of the names with whom you have been working, and it's a wonderful feeling, it's a wonderful feeling because it's so much to learn from you people, that yes, invariably what happens is, and I've seen it, in economics, there is a principle of a marginal utility. That you get one particular thing more and more and more, and you say that okay, I don't need it, except that principle does not apply in money. You get more money, and you say that oh, still I need more money, and ultimately we all become a servant of our money,
Right.
rather than the master of our money. So Rikaben, truly, it's a fascinating story. Okay, and we'll move on. But I want to ask you one negative question.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm sure that you'll have something. કે ક્યારે એવું લાગ્યું કે આટલી બધી ચેરિટી નહોતી કરવી જોતી? ક્યારેક એવું લાગ્યું કે આ ચેરિટી આપવામાં એનો મિસયુઝ થાય છે કે ગેરલાભ કોઈ ઉઠાવે છે, મિસયુઝ થાય છે? ક્યારે એવા નેગેટિવ વિચાર even for a fraction of a second કે એકાદ કોઈ એવો ઇન્સિડન્સ બન્યો હોય કે જે because see you've been such a I'm not sure what to use it, but such a lovely and beautiful couple, okay, that the story won't be complete unless and until we get something that to learn from that yes, we went into some kind of a negative things and then we came out. So ક્યારે એવું બનેલું?
એકચ્યુઅલી આટલા વખતમાં
હા
Manu is very careful.
Okay.
We both don't believe in just giving the money. પેલા શેને માટે છે, શું છે, કોની સાથે આપણે વર્ક કરીએ છીએ એના ઉપર વિશ્વાસ કરીને ઇન્વેસ્ટ કરીએ. પણ હજી સુધી એવા એકે મેજર ખરાબ નથી ગયા. એકમાં આઈ કેન ફીલ ઇટ કે we should not have done it, but we trusted him and we said, okay, sometimes you have to take a chance. But their intention was bad. No, I shouldn't say bad, but એ લોકોનો intention જ જુદો હતો કે philanthropy ના નામે it was a money making philanthropy.
Okay.
So we realized and we stopped it. I think after that we never got any which is
No, okay, one thing, let me, again, this goes with, we treated our employees as extended family. We made a very simple rule. Their pain is our pain, their gain is our gain. We expanded that to our supply chain. We started calling supply chain partner. As the same thing, we trusted them. Almost nearly every supplier, we pay the second day they ship. It will be anywhere 45 to 60 days after that we receive the merchandising. Okay? But we pay them. We trust them. Have been cheated? Yes. But if them, because of the trust, like we have a 400, maybe 500 suppliers worldwide, 80% we have never met. Okay? We trust them. And do there go something wrong? Occasionally, yes. By and large, they also realize that, hey, this guy is trusting me, let me make sure I don't do something stupid for him. Okay? And this trust atmosphere is so important with employee, with supplier, with customers. We just continue that route in philanthropy same way. Let us trust them. Some of them, due to their inefficiency or, their misguided way to solve the problem, we don't grow with them. Sometimes we reduce them. Some, at least 2 or 3 philanthropists, we stop dealing with them. But the advantage we gained was with other 30 or 40. I did not waste time to start. I did not waste time to let me make sure they're doing everything right. Okay? And that is a big faith. It's a kind of a faith-based approach that if you're doing right, most of them will go right.
Rikaben એમ કહેવાય છે કે પૈસો અને સંપત્તિ એક એવી વસ્તુ છે કે જો એનો સાચો ઉપયોગ કરતા આવડે તો માણસ અને સમાજ તરી જાય છે અને જો એનો ખોટો ઉપયોગ કરવામાં આવે તો માણસ તો ડૂબે છે પણ આખા સમાજને સાથે લઈને આખા કુટુંબને સાથે લઈને ડૂબાડે છે. ઓકે, I think જે રીતની તમારી સ્ટોરી જોઈ and you are like what word should I use it, I'm not sure, but you are like a mother of the family now. Extended family, your extended family, and you are like a mother. Okay.
Her son name is Raj. We call Raj Mata.
Raj Mata.
That's it.
Well, I'm then going to add, do you call her also Roop Mata?
Rupmati and Raj Mata.
Manubhai, when I come here, I have done a lot of research. So anyway, so and I see that both of you are absolutely grounded, absolutely humble, despite not only having so much of the money, but despite giving up so much of the money to the society. Okay, so do you find કે આ વસ્તુ જે કરો છો એમાંથી તમને ગ્રાઉન્ડેડ રાખવામાં કઈ વસ્તુઓ ભાગ ભજવી રહી છે?
મેઇનલી જ્યારે અમે શરૂ કર્યું
હા
અને પછી ધીમે ધીમે આગળ વધ્યા અને જુદા જુદા સંજોગોમાંથી પસાર થતા ગયા અને હવે તો ઘણા બધા નાના વિલેજીસમાં ને જઈ આવ્યા છીએ. એ બધાને જોઈ ત્યારે મન આખું બદલાઈ જાય છે કે વી શુડ ડુ સમથિંગ. વી હેવ એવરીથિંગ, they don't have anything.
we are blessed.
We are blessed.
Yes.
We have no reason to think anything more or complain about anything. Only thing we should do is that help anybody. And even my goal is that out of work, wherever we work, I'm not looking for everything we can change. But even 1% to 5% we can make a change, I will be happy. It is all worth spending, investing the money and spending the time. It's worth it.
What a beautiful concept કે તમે કહો છો કે મારી પાસે ઓછું છે જોવા કરતા સામા માણસને જ્યારે જોઉં કે એની પાસે કાંઈ નથી ત્યાં હું ગ્રાઉન્ડેડ થઈ જ જાઉં, હું હમ્બલ થઈ જ જાઉં. વોટ અ બ્યુટિફુલ કોન્સેપ્ટ. ખાલી આટલો નાનકડો કોન્સેપ્ટ જો માણસો પોતાની લાઈફમાં ઉતારી દે તો the life will change permanently. It's a small concept. આપણે આને ડે ટુ ડે લાઈફમાં આપણે જોઈએ છે આપણી સાથે કામ કરનારા માણસો. આપણે ટેક્સી લઈએ તો ટેક્સી ડ્રાઈવર, કેબ ડ્રાઈવર, everybody you see. Okay.
So can I end here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have put concept a little differently. We want people from nothing to something. Those who have nothing, let's get them to something. I was one of them. From something I got better thing. Okay, and that story is when somebody gave, in my book is there, but somebody gave 2,000 rupees to my school to start science club. And there would be 2,000 students, he could not have started. This is 1958. So he decided to start for 11th and 10th and 11th. I was getting into 9th. He said, you cannot join, you have to wait one more year. And I didn't want it to wait. And after making a working telegraph and showing him, he took me. Now, that clicked to me 3 different things. I want to go to America. Who is that person who gave this money? Why he gave to the unknowns? So we take our lessons from that because it changed my life. I become much better at education, technology, inquisitiveness, innovativeness, all due to joining Science Club as the youngest member. But the point was, I came to America, I tried to find him, I never found him. Whoever that, yes, he or she was. But it taught me lesson, let's give to unknown. Alright, the people we will never know. And since now, by and large, we are practicing that, let us give to unknowns. Okay? And that is a big help. That satisfaction coming sometimes with their smiles. Okay? And that smile is better than watching the best movie. When me and Rika see that smile on somebody's life, affected, changed, that gives us so much satisfaction. Let's do more. Okay? Let's find more people who could use it. She can tell you the story of a woman in Rewari, Haryana. You go ahead, tell that story.
આપણે ત્યાં વુમન એમ્પાવરમેન્ટનું કરીએ છીએ રવાડીમાં. તો આખો નવો પ્રોગ્રામ શરૂ કર્યો હતો અને પછી અમે લોકો ગયા વર્ષે એટલે એ લોકોએ 3-4 જણા
It's been 14 years on program.
એમાંથી એ લોકોએ બોલાવ્યા હતા. તો એમાંની એક લેડી હતી, વી કોલ પિંક લેડી બીકોઝ એને પિંક કલરનો ડ્રેસ પહેર્યો હતો. 4ના નામ તો અમને નહોતા ખબર. She was telling her story. We both cried. અને ત્યાં બીજા બેઠા હતા એ લોકોએ બી ક્રાય કર્યું કે એ લેડીને ઘરમાં એનો હસબન્ડ દારૂડિયો હતો, મારઝૂડ કરતો હતો, બધા પૈસા આ કામ કરીને આવે એના પૈસા લઈ જાય, પ્લસ આને ઘર ચલાવવાનું, ઘરમાં સાસુ ને નણંદ હતા, હસબન્ડ ધ્યાન ના આપે એટલે સાસુ નણંદ ધ્યાન આપે કે લાઈક કામ માટે જ જાણે ઘરમાં આવી હોય એને ઘરથી બહાર પણ ન જવા દે. અમે જેની સાથે કામ કર્યું એ દેટ વોઝ AIF. એ લોકો એને ગમે એમ કરીને થોડી પોલીસની હેલ્પ લઈને એને ઘરેથી બહાર લઈ આવ્યા. અહીંયા શીખવાડવાનું મશીનનું શરૂ કર્યું અને જ્યારે એનું થોડુંક શીખવા માંડી ને હજી તો ઘરે જાય તો એને આવવા નહોતા દેતા ત્યાં ક્લાસ તો આ લોકો એને મશીન ઘરે આપ્યું કે ચાલો આપણે એને ઘરે આપીએ તો બેસીને ત્યાં કરશે. તો એના હસબન્ડે મશીન પણ તોડી નાખ્યું. બ્રાન્ડ ન્યૂ બિચારીનો જીવ એટલો બળી ગયો. સો સી વોઝ ક્રાઇંગ. પણ કે એમાંથી પણ છતાંય આ લોકો નક્કી જ કર્યું હતું કે આપણે ગમે બહાર લેવી છે આમાંથી. તો પાછા એને હેલ્પ કરી, પોલીસને મોકલાવે કે આનો હસબન્ડ એમ કરે છે એટલે દરમાં બી આવવા દીધો. ને પેલા એટલું બધું પીતો હતો કે એને પછી બધું ખરાબ થઈ ગયું ને હી ડાઈડ. તો હવે આ લોકો છોકરીને બહાર તો ના આવવા દે પણ એના દિયર સાથે જ લગ્ન કરાવે એટલે ઘરમાં જ બધી રહે. વાત તો ઘરની વાત બહાર બી નથી. બધા લઈ લે.
Make her earn the money for the family by નાના ભાઈ સાથે લગ્ન કરાવી દીધા.
Now she is earning 15 to 20,000 a month. તો ઘરમાં બધાનું ઇમ્પ્રેશન બદલાઈ ગઈ. હવે બધા એને સાથ આપવા માંડ્યા કારણ કે બારે નીકળવા માંડી એટલે બધાની એને હેલ્પ મળી કે ટુ ગેટ આઉટ ઓફ ધીસ વન કે બોલવાનું થોડું સારી રીતે શરૂ કર કે દે હેવ ટુ રિસ્પેક્ટ યુ. અને સી વોઝ સ્માઇલિંગ સો ગુડ. વી ઓલવેઝ
She is a spokesperson for that and how life changes. And
in a smile, I can see.
Ajaybhai, we must have heard similar story from at least another 25 women at different places. How they were abused and how they got out from the tribal area. This is a much bigger story. Similarly, in Junagadh, in Radhanpur, everywhere there will be some woman like Pink Lady.
આપણે થોડા આઈપેડ રાજકોટમાં પણ આપણું ચાલે છે ત્યાં આગળ આપ્યા હતા ને તે દિવસે અમે ગયા ત્યારે એ લોકોએ બધાને ઇન્વાઇટ કર્યા હતા જેના જેના આપણે ક્લાસમાં આવે. તો એક વિડો લેડી એના નાના સનને લઈને આવી હતી અને રડવા માંડી. કીધું કેમ શું થયું? તો કે જો તમારે આઈપેડ આપ્યું છે તો અમારો દીકરો એટલું સાચવે છે અને ભણે છે કે તમારો ઉપકાર નહીં. કે એમાં ઉપકારનો સવાલ નથી, તમે એને ભણાવો. છોકરાને કીધું તારે શું કરવું છે? તો તમારે અમેરિકા આવવું છે. We just cried. Look at that little thing, how changes the thinking and the life.
So I'll just add two small things here. What Manubhai said. મારા મા સ્વામી એને મારી જિંદગી ચેન્જ કરી નાખી. ઓકે, એ પ્રિન્સિપલ તમે કીધો અનનોનનો. એણે એક દિવસ સૌથી પહેલી વાર મને કે મને 2 લાખ રૂપિયા આપીશ. હવે જેનું દીક્ષા પર્યાય 78 વર્ષનો હોય, દીક્ષા પર્યાય મારા ગુરુ ગોંડલમાં રહેતા હતા અને 95 વર્ષે એ કાળ કરી ગયા અને 78 વર્ષનો એનો દીક્ષા પર્યાય ગયો. એને મારી જિંદગી ચેન્જ કરી નાખી. તો પહેલી વાર એને મને કીધું કે કાંઈ નહીં, તું મને 2 લાખ રૂપિયા આપીશ. હવે આપણા મનમાં વિચાર શું આવે કે સાધુ છે ને 2 લાખ માંગે છે, પણ ઠીક છે 2 લાખની આપણા માટે કોઈ કિંમત નહોતી એટલે કીધું મૂકે આપીશ. અને ત્યારે 2000 રૂપિયાની નોટ હતી, 15 વર્ષ પહેલાની વાત કરું છું. તો 2000નું નવું બંડલ મંગાવીને મેં કીધું વાલ્યો, અરે મારે અડવું નથી, પાછું લઈ લે. તો તમે કીધું ને મને જોઈએ છે, તો કે હા પાછું લઈ લે. હવે મારા પૈસા થઈ ગયા ને, તમારા થઈ ગયા, હવે હું કહું ઈ કરજે. તો કીધું શું કરવાનું? તો કે આમાં 100 નોટ છે, દિવસના એવરી ડે 1 નોટ એવી બી ગરીબ વ્યક્તિને આપવાની કે જેને તું જીવનમાં મળ્યો ન હોય ને જેને તું જીવનમાં પાછો મળવાનો ન હોય. આ એનું વાક્ય હતું. તમે અનનોન જે કીધું એક્ઝેક્ટલી એનું વાક્ય હતું. અને હું રાજકોટમાં ગોંડલમાં ચાલવા નીકળું સવારના, તો કોઈ શાકની લારી લઈ જતા ભાઈ હોય એને અટકાવું કે આ ગરીબ માણસ છે ને મળવાના નથી, મળ્યા નથી, એટલે એને 2000ની નોટ આપું. મનુભાઈ, તમે જે એક્સપ્રેશન જોયા છે એ જ એક્સપ્રેશન કારણ કે મેં જાતે આપેલા છે એટલે મેં જુદી રીતે જોયા છે. somebody first felt કે હું મજાક કરું છું. somebody first said કે આ નોટ સાચી છે કે ખોટી છે. અને when they realize કે આ સાચી છે, ઓકે, એ જે આંખમાં જે આનંદ, આંખમાં જે પ્રેમ, આંખમાં જે કરુણા, અને આજે જ હું મહેશભાઈ સાથે વાત કરતો હતો એનો કે મહેશભાઈ, શાસ્ત્રોમાં દાનથી તમને પુણ્ય મળે છે, શું કરવા કીધું છે? મને લાગે છે કે દાનથી આપણા જીવનમાં આ સેકન્ડે જ પરિવર્તન આવી જાય છે, આપણા ભાવોમાં પરિવર્તન આવી જાય છે. તો આવતો બહુ છે કે નહીં, મારા માસ્વામી તો કહેતા હતા, આવતો બહુ છે કે નહીં એની પરવા નહીં કરતો, આ બહુમાં જીવન એવું જીવજે કે તું જ્યાં જાય ને ત્યાં સ્વર્ગ જેવું વાતાવરણ તું ઊભું કરી નાખે. અને આઈ એમ વેરી હેપી કે તમે બંને તમારા જીવનમાં તો સ્વર્ગ જેવું વાતાવરણ ઊભું કરો છો, પણ બીજાને માટે સ્વર્ગ જેવું વાતાવરણ ઊભું કરો છો. It's a wonderful thing. પણ મનુભાઈ, you are.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is Swarg Vataran?
I'll tell you.
I don't want ever to go to Swarg.
No, હું તમને એ જ કહું છું. મારા મા સ્વામીનું આખું જે વાક્ય હતું છે એ તમને કહું. એ આખું વાક્ય જો હશે તો તમને જવાબ મળી જશે કે મર્યા પછી સ્વર્ગમાં જવા કરતા જીવન એવું જીવજે કે તું જ્યાં જાય ત્યાં સ્વર્ગ જેવું વાતાવરણ બની જાય.
That's the way.
That's a વાક્ય. મેં અડધું વાક્ય તમને કીધું because ટાઈમની મારામારી છે.
ગુરુદેવ સાથે એ જ વાત મેં કીધું, મારે મોક્ષ જવું
મર્યા પછી
નિર્વાણ પામવું નથી.
અને આઈ એમ રિપીટિંગ ઇટ કે મર્યા પછી સ્વર્ગમાં જવા કરતા તું જીવન જીવવું એવું જેવું જીવજે કે તું જ્યાં જાય ત્યાં સ્વર્ગ જેવું વાતાવરણ ઊભું થઈ જાય. Okay, so that's a full sentence. Okay, now I am seeing honestly, and with absolute respect to both of you, so don't please catch my words, but I am seeing here a couple, okay, where there is a wisdom and there is a love. So don't take it other way around. Okay, there is a love also, there is a wisdom also. So don't take it, but I am finding him as a man of wisdom, and mother is a man of love. Okay. The question to any one of you can answer. The question is, money can buy almost everything today. Can it buy wisdom and love?
Cannot buy wisdom, it cannot buy love, it cannot even give you happiness. All of that will come by seeing on somebody's face. If we impact their life, if we change small or big, it makes a big difference. I can give you example after example of this. Our Chashma project, which we already have done almost 4.5 million screening and over roughly 800,000 glasses given. There are people in villages in India who never knew they needed glasses. 600,000 villages in India, not a single one has a optical shop or optometrist. So they don't know. They're not reading. So they don't know they have glasses. At the best, they're watching some TV, that's all, which allows them to see it anyway. But these are the things, once they did see the glasses, they said, wow, this is a different life. Okay, same thing students, same thing about many such thing, anemia. That's another way the women, girls, they don't know that how the life would be if they are not anemic. Once they have a hemoglobin in their blood starts carrying the oxygen. Every part of the body is a different feeling. There are pregnant women and they are anemic. The baby growing up in the womb not getting enough oxygen, how can they grow?
અને અમારે હમણાં જ એનો દાખલો હતો ધરમપુરની અંદર જ લેડી વોઝ પ્રેગ્નન્ટ 7 months, ટ્વિન્સ ડિલિવર કરવાની હતી ને એનું હેમોગ્લોબિન હતું 7, less than 7. How can she deliver the twins in the lesson? પણ આપણું આ ચાલતું હતું એમાંથી તે ફિગર ઇટ આઉટ કે એને કારણ કે ત્યાં પહેલાં તો ડૉક્ટર પાસે જાય નહીં રેગ્યુલરલી કે એનું હેમોગ્લોબિન ઓછું છે. તરત જ આ લોકોએ એની સગવડ કરી આપી હોસ્પિટલમાં અને વિધિન 3 weeks કે 4 weeks હેલ્ધી બેબીઝ ડિલિવર કરે.
2 healthy babies in 2.5 months.
આપણું કામ શું છે ખબર છે?
સારું કરવાનું.
આપણું કામ છે દુનિયા છે ને એમાં તમે જેમ કીધું હમણાં સ્ટોરી કીધી કે હસબન્ડ, અને હું જોઉં છું કે જ્યાં ગરીબી હોય છે ને ત્યાં બીજી બધી જ વસ્તુ ભેગી થાય છે. ઓકે, તમે કર્મની થિયરી માનો ન માનો એ જુદી વસ્તુ છે, પણ ત્યાં બધું ભેગું થાય છે. ગરીબી હોય ત્યાં હસબન્ડ પણ દારૂડિયો હોય, ત્યાં સાસુ પણ મારતી હોય, ઓકે, અને ત્યાં ખાવાના પણ સાસા હોય, બરોબર છે. પણ રીકાબેન, જ્યારે આપણે હવે ઓલમોસ્ટ અંત પર આવવા છે, છેલ્લા 3-4-5 ક્વેશ્ચન છે, ત્યારે આઈ થિંક આ વાર્તાલાપ અધૂરો ગણાશે અનલેસ કે જે 1-2-3-4 એક્ઝામ્પલો તમે જે આપ્યા એમાં તમે ને મનુભાઈ એવા વધારે એક્ઝામ્પલ આપો કે જેમાં તમારું આપણે કહીએ ને કે હૃદય આમ દ્રવી ગયું હોય, એમાં એ કર્યાનો એવો અભૂતપૂર્વક આપણને સંતોષ મળ્યો હોય કે God has given me this opportunity.
I'll give you
Yes,
one example. She will put in it. 2013, 2014, we said we are going to, MSI is getting smoke free. Anybody smoking cannot smoke. We give 3 months, we will help you. Okay, that was her idea.
Oh, wonderful.
She asked me and Raj to make it. So first thing we did legally, how we going to do it. Then we found one legal opinion that if you smoke, the effect of secondhand smoking remains on your clothes for 3 hours. So we made a simple rule. If you smoke, next 3 hours you cannot be within 5 feet of employee, customer or vendor. Basically, that means you have to smoke at 5 a.m. to come job at 8 and then leave at 5. If you can live without smoking for 12 hours, you can live for 24 hours. If you live 24 hours, you can live 7 days. That was the idea. She was happy. We did. I went, she managed here everybody and coaching, and I started going to the branches and telling them that, hey, we have to, this is going to happen, and different branches. In Phoenix branches, on 22nd December I was there, and I said, there was a small branch, only 15 people were working at that time. So when I everything good about year and future year, I talk about this smoke-free MSI. Everybody started looking at one guy, his name I shortened to TJ, and they started laughing. That means you are in trouble. He felt so bad he walked out. Next day he didn't come. My branch manager, what happened? Oh, don't worry, he will be fine. And few days we forgot all these things, okay? 18th January, we were in a convention in Las Vegas. He was there. He met me. TJ says, Manu, I'd like to talk to you and Rika. I said, okay. So I go and, can you find Rika? We can sit down. So I found Rika. Rika, what do you want? I don't know. He may be suing us. Who knows? It's America. We sit down with him. Then he says to Rika and me, the guy was at that time 59 years old. He says, I want you to know that I haven't smoked for 3 weeks now. Okay. He said, congratulations, great. He said, I can smell flower now. This guy was not smelling flower for 44 years. He was smoking. Now what happened? I said, wow, that's great. He says, you know what? Something else. My wife, who was never riding with me in my pickup truck, now sits with me.
So you are making a really impact on families also.
So we were at that point.
Plus money, but
money save થાય એટલે એક તો બધાના ઘરમાં ટેમ્પર ડાઉન થઈ ગયા.
So we kind of said, wow, he was not sitting with his wife in his own pickup truck. Then said, I want you to know something. We were about to cry. And the last sentence he said, we both cried. He said, you know, last thing I want you to know. And while talking, I may cry. My grandson comes and he hugs me now. He never hugged me because I was a smoker. And we both cried. What a thing he was giving up. A grandson's hug, ask me, we cannot, that's the one of the best thing. And he was giving it up for smoking. So it's this kind of story we have everywhere. Okay, it's mind-boggling.
I'm a finance man, investment side, I mean, normally as a finance people, we always say, and I'm sure even you are an engineer, but looks like that, you are probably 80% engineer and 20% finance man. Looking at your success, looking at your figure work and other things.
Thank you.
Okay. And we always, finance people talk in terms of a return on investment. Okay. And I think that, what both of you are doing, it's going to fetch for generations and generations some kind of astonishingly high return on investments. Don't you think so?
To me, and as we do both lot more philanthropy, I was surprised. Again, this short story. In 2015, and Ajaybhai was there, and I said in front of a group of people that I'm going to work hard so my last check bounced. Okay. Unfortunately, if there is a God, He is not kind to me. The more we give in philanthropy, the more He gives us back. They want to challenge us to see how our last check will bounce. It's a really a challenge which I'm taking up against the God to let's see if He gives me more or I'm able to have a last check bounce.
Question I want to ask you. It's a very funny question, but obviously in this kind of vartalap, you don't want to make it very serious. You want to have funny. Okay. And give me a really good answer. Okay, don't say yes or no. Okay. Manubhai, recently you agreed to give 25 million US dollar to Dharampur for setting it up some beautiful institute.
Yes.
Okay. Don't you think when you commit 25 million US dollar, your hand should shiver? At least my hand will shiver.
Yes, my hands are definitely shivering. How can I do more? There's more locations.
Wonderful.
We are talking with Namra Muni something to do big. We are talking with few other people to do big things. Because once you break that ice of 25
Absolutely.
it is broken now. So it's no big deal now. Giving $8-10 million, $15 million will not make big difference. In fact, next week here locally we are signing with St. Jude Hospital, Shah Happiness Cardiovascular Center. $5 million we are giving. It's now, it looks like if you can do 25, you can do 5, 10 any day.
જો હું કહેવા જતી હતી કે તમે પૂછ્યું ને કે તારે hand was not shivering. I was there, we both were sitting on this side front of the computer. પણ ત્યારે ને ત્યારે ઓકે 15 મિલિયનમાં થશે પછી મનુ સડનલી કે ઓકે હું આખી યુનિવર્સિટી લઉં તો શું અને ત્યારે ને ત્યારે we were the happiest people કે અને they were happy, all of them too.
No, this will go long way in supporting
The villages.
the complete country, So let's conclude this wonderful session.
Thank you.
Okay, but before I say thank you, let me just make a few comments. And this is the last comment where I am definitely going to corner Manubhai. And I have enjoyed cornering Manubhai. Though this is my first very formal meeting. Okay. Manubhai, yes. Seriously, we all agree that money can be curse. If its sole purpose is a selfishness. Okay. But it can be a blessings when used for a right purpose. And I have actually known or read the story of one individual. Okay, and I want to leave the impact of that individual for all of us to reflect on. Okay. To me, he was a son of India. He was probably the only son of India, let me put it up. He was the only child of India. Okay. And I think that story I'm going to little bit corner you. And I'm happy that Rikaben is laughing so that she knows that some nuclear missile is going to come now. This boy was born some 185 years, so it's not very old history that I'm talking about. And similar story like you, maybe not the same level. At the age of 35 or 40, he earned in those times, that means around 140, 145 years back, he earned in those times maybe billions of US. And now I'll give you a little bit of a hint. He was a Parsi gentleman. He had also Manubhai two sons. He also two sons. Okay. And he felt so much for his country that he said, okay, though my country is under British Empire, let me put it up the steel plant for my country. Let me put it up the power plant for my country. Let me put it up the best of the automobile for my country. Let me put it up the best of the 5-star hotel for my country, and so on and so forth. And later on, he called his two sons who also joined, and as the history says, and if you want, I forgot to bring that book for you, but I'll definitely courier you. As the history says, his two sons were more powerful in terms of the business than he himself. And probably I realized that, your two children are definitely more powerful. Okay. And he called his two children and said that, look, I built up everything for the country. That's a small difference between your business and his business. And I believe and I want these things to go back to our country. And all three of them agreed. And probably, if I'm not wrong, okay, they were declared by whatever is a global world authority, that in the history of the world, they were the largest philanthropists so far. Okay, they have so far given 110 billion US dollar. That's none other than Jamshedji Tata and his two sons.
Yes.
And his two sons. There is no doubt about it. On that note, I think I will try to conclude this Vartalap, interview, conversation, dialogue, whatever word you want to use it. It has been a wonderful, honestly a wonderful time, a learning time for me. One of the message I have learned from my Maswami, મોટાભાગના લોકો જીવન પસાર કરે છે. મોટાભાગના લોકો જીવન પસાર કરે છે. ઓકે. બહુ ઓછા લોકો જીવન જીવી જાણે છે. અને કોઈ એકલ દોકલ હોય છે જે પોતાનું જીવન સાર્થક કરે છે. And I see Rikaben and Manubhai coming into that last category. Okay, and I would like to be, learning a lot from you. I have learned a lot from you. Thank you very much. Seriously.
Thank you for kind words. We are happy to hear, but our journey will continue whichever way we. And thank you for great words.